Hello friends, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are talking about Diego Costa and his move to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yes, he has finally made that move. His work permit has been granted and he is able to play for the mighty Wanderers. Join me as we go through what he will do to improve this Wolves team and how Wolves can utilise him and get the very best out of him going forwards. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss an upload, and let's talk about Diego Costa and his move to Wolves. If you're unaware of who Diego Costa is, allow me to enlighten you. He is a 33-year-old Brazilian-born Spanish striker. He has played in a multitude of teams, but most notably known for his time at Atletico Madrid, where he played 216 matches, got 83 goals and 36 assists. He was also at Chelsea in the Premier League for a good period of time, playing 120 matches and scoring 59 goals with 23 assists. He is a prolific striker who is known for his physicality, his aggression, and his all-round tenaciousness when playing the game. I think he could be a really good asset for Wolves, and we're going to dive in how I think Wolves could utilise him tactically. Okay, and here we have the Wolves team. I've got it lined up here, how I think they should be starting. And obviously, I've got Diego Costa in the starting lineup. Up front, right there, and I think he should start. I think he should be able to get to his teammates and then go from there. Because I think one of the best assets that he has to offer Wolves is not his goal-scoring technique. I know a lot of people will go towards that. He scores a lot of goals. He's very good. He's very difficult to play against. But I think one of his best assets is actually the way he will bring his teammates into play. I think the way he can really be a backboard for this Wolves side to really get them up the pitch, which I've seen them struggle with this season. They've tried to play out from the back, and while I do think that Collins and Kilman are very good on the ball, I'm not sure whether they have the defensive structure, and I'm not sure whether they have the attacking structure to be able to utilise all of the technical players that they have at the moment. What I mean by that is, yes, Neves and Nunes are fantastic, but I think it's going to take time for this Wolves side to bed in with each other. It's going to take time to be able to develop these patterns of play, and although they have been together, a lot of them have, for quite some time, I think integrating Nunes is one of the major cogs to this puzzle, because when you've got him playing and when you've got him on the same wavelength as Neves, I really do think they're going to be able to dictate and dominate the midfield. At the moment, they cannot do that, which means that they're going to need to rely on getting up the pitch in a different way. I think that will be Diego Costa. He can be along the front line, and what's going to happen, I think, or what should happen, is Jose Sá's taking a goal kick, for example. He can boot the ball towards Costa, and Costa can act as a springboard. When that happens, you're going to have the likes of Guedes, you're going to have the likes of Neto pushing up really high next to him. So either he wins a flick on, and then you have this entire area of space to run into. You have this entire area of space to run into. So if there's a flick on or anything, Neto can get the ball and drive. The second thing that you can do is act as another backboard for another player, and I'm thinking Pedence. I've currently got Wolves set up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Obviously, you can change it, you can do things a little bit differently, but I've got Pedence here, specifically in this area, because I think that he can really play off Diego Costa. I think that he can really utilise his skill on the ball, utilise Diego Costa's ability to keep the ball, maintain possession, and then go from there. Because if you have Diego Costa, you can bounce the ball off him, and then Pedence can go from there. You then have this much space to work with, and then you can work the ball into the channels. Then you can start recycling possession. And all of a sudden, Wolves go from a team who struggle to maintain the ball towards the final third, and they have now a possession-based team, which when it gets difficult, when it gets tough, they can retain the ball more often than not. Going forwards, this also is going to be a major asset, and a big one at that for Wolves to utilise. Obviously, we talk about physicality. We talk about Raul Jimenez and the way he can win the ball and make sure that Wolves can be on the ascendancy in possession. But after his injury, I think he's become a little bit sheepish. I think, understandably, he's been struggling to find that physical edge to his game that he did really have before he obviously had that horrendous injury. I do think that Costa still has that. He's 33 years old, yes, but he still has that physicality, and he will bully defenders. He will bully opposition midfielders, and that will give Wolves so much more time, so much more possession, and the ability to be able to maintain possession and maintain pressure on the opposition going forwards. They now have the option of whipping the ball into the box. Costa will dominate this space, and again, like I said, if not, he can act as a backboard, making sure that Podence is here on the outside of the box. Recycling possession is going to be a massive thing for Wolves now. If they don't have an option, or they don't have too much, they can either pop it into the box and Costa can retain the ball, or they can play around him. Costa is also very good technically with his feet. He's very good in tight-knit situations for a big guy, and I do think that he's going to be able to play an interlinking game with these players. It's just a very, very good option in my opinion. I really do think that. Again, you can play the ball into Costa, into feet if you want to. He can play the ball out, and all of a sudden, if you see, you're now creating triangles. You're now creating triangles between these players. Costa can go to Guedes, Nunes, and then you're creating patterns of play. This is what I think they wanted. They wanted a target man to be able to go towards, because they have the technical players. They have the players in the likes of a Neves who can dominate the ball, Nunes who can dominate the ball. But I don't think that when they went forwards, I'm not sure that the likes of Guedes or Neto had enough about them at this current point in time to be able to drive forwards and still maintain possession. With Costa, they can have, I keep saying it, but that backboard to play off. They can play interlocking pieces of play. If Neto wants to drive inside, that's okay now, because what they can do is they can now play the ball into Costa and he'll play it out. And then all of a sudden you've got Neto in the shooting position. Same with Guedes. Guedes will want to do the same thing. And then you've also got, in this system that I have, you've also got the ability to play through Podence. And then now you have the defenders worried about another body. I'm not sure they were concerned enough about Jimenez. I'm not sure that Jimenez caused enough of a threat for the opposition defenders to be too worried about it. And that meant that they were able to focus a lot on the wingers and on the central attacking midfielder. Now, I've brought all these players back again because I want to explain how you can change this for a different system. Of course, I've got the setup in a 4-2-3-1, but there's no reason why you can't utilise this in a 4-3-3. Perhaps you're playing a team where you're going to be a bit more confident you're going to have the ball, and then you want to change it. You want to be a bit more offensive, a bit more attacking. That's absolutely fine. We can still have the same players, but what we do now is we have Nunes and Podence as almost attacking midfielders in the 8 position, and then you have Neves holding in the 6. Now, later on down the line, I think they might try and traverse to this because of the ball playing skill of Neves. He can really hit these channels, and when he hits these channels, you're going to be able to have a lot of possession because the 8s, as well as Costa, will be able to play the ball with the wingers. And then again, you have this dominance on the flanks. Costa can then do what he wants, and then they can focus on crossing, they can focus on maintaining interplay, and I really do think that it will be a new facet to Wolves' game. How well utilised Costa will be towards his first part of the season will be interesting. I wonder how quickly he's going to adapt. Remember that he already knows the Premier League. He already knows what is expected of him. He already knows how physical it is, and I think he'll be ready for that. He's a hot-headed customer, and I do think that he's going to want to put himself about a bit, and that is going to be to the benefit of Wolves, who want to be a bit tougher to play against, who want to be difficult to maintain the ball in these channels. They want to make sure that the life for the opposition is very difficult, and Diego Costa will do that. One final thing I'll talk on, but I want to speak about Diego Costa getting the ball from a goal kick again. He can be that backboard, but then what can happen in this formation is you can then start to get midfield runners, and when you get these midfield runners, you're going to get them through on goal more times than not, especially with how well he can retain the ball and win the ball back from a goal kick. This means that all of a sudden you've got positions on the inside channels. And when you have that, it turns defenses into just jelly. It really does. It's crazy how well they are going to be able to maintain possession, win the ball, and then all of a sudden you've got these players coming forwards in a fantastic fashion. Neves can be controlling the midfield, will push everyone up, and then all of a sudden you've got a lot of possession of the ball. You've got a lot of dominance. Again, play the ball into Costa, and you're going to have midfield runners. Like I said, you can do it from the halfway line, or you can do it on the outside of the box. All of a sudden you've got players making runs into the channels, helping out Diego Costa, and then you've got the crosses from Guedes and Neto. This is just two facets of the game that I think that Diego Costa could be helpful for Wolves in. I think that's what they wanted with their new striker they bought. It's unfortunate that he's got his ACL injury, but while they wait for him to come back, I think Diego Costa will be a fantastic addition. And with his experience, he's also going to be able to push through some of these younger players. Neto does not have too much experience at this level. Guedes doesn't really have too much Premier League experience. Nunes, same. He's going to be able to drive through this team and give them that bit of edge, that bit of attacking verve. And I think that Wolves will become a completely different proposition with Diego Costa in this side. That's it for today, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it with a like and subscribe if you haven't for more content like this coming very soon. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts on Diego Costa to Wolves are. How do you think he will fit into their system? Do you think he'll be an integral cog in their team? Let me know. You can of course let me know on Twitter. You can find me at Zekko64. That's generally where I post when my videos go live, but of course you can always know that if you hit that notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Like I said, that's it from me for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, take care of yourselves and bye bye.